Okay, honey, get down. I ain't trying to do a reading log. Move. Move it! Come on! No! Why? Come on! Hello all of my otaku friends, my name is Otaku, and welcome back to my channel. This is my reading log for the first month of 2022, and I read a lot of different series and a lot of interesting series, so I'm super excited to tell you guys what I think of all this new stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first new series we're going to talk about is Mashle, Magic and Muscles. I read volumes 1, 2, and 3 for this month, so I just started it. And you know, I have to say, this manga is just meh for me. This is a Shonen Jump title that's currently serializing in Shonen Jump. And you know, this has been portrayed as a crossover of One Punch Man and Harry Potter, and yeah, they're right on the money with that. It's basically about this guy right here who has no magic powers at all in a magical world, and he just goes around using his magic by beating people up, basically. It's really funny. It's a gag manga. I really like the art. I think it's just super unique, and the way the paneling works is just makes the gags really hit hard. The biggest issue that I have with this manga is that it is just so tropey. You've got the sister complex trope, you have the girl falling head over heels trope, you've got the really dumb friend trope, you've got the crazy out of control friend, and then you've got the bad boy with the dark side story that becomes the friend of the group. And it's just all of these tropes happen within the first 2 volumes, and I just can't stand it anymore. I can't get myself to continue to read through this series. So what I'm gonna do, I want to keep reading it. I'm very entertained by it. It's just not something I want to collect, so I will continue to read this on the Shonen Jump app, and I'm probably gonna sell these 3 volumes. Next up is a new rom-com series that's kind of taken Instagram Manga 2 by storm, and this is Cheeky Brat. This is a rom-com series about this girl who's the basketball manager. She has a crush on her senpai, who is the captain of this basketball team. Then the captain gets a girlfriend, and so she is devastated and she's super sad. And then so here's the captain, and then here's the new girlfriend, and then this guy comes into the picture. He's the new freshman, and he keeps hitting on this basketball manager, and she's like, no, but then eventually, you know, the heart chemistry chemicals start pumping, and it's just a really interesting romance. So obviously she's a tsundere type, and he's just a bad boy who's like, you know, I'm the cool guy. And so it's kind of tropey, but I do really like it for some weird reason. I really like the art. I think the comedy in it is actually really funny, and I can see this developing into something really nice. So I highly recommend this series if you're looking for a new rom-com. I think it's different with the whole basketball aspect. The artwork is really good with it. So yeah, Cheeky Brat. It's a fun series. Next up is another new series, another new rom-com slice of life series. This is Skip and Loafer. This was recommended to me by Suki Notes, volumes 1 and 2, and it's basically about this girl who's a country bumpkin, and she starts high school life in Tokyo, and then she's getting lost. She can't even find the train to get to the school, and this guy is the cool kid in school, and he's a little late, and so he decides to help her get to school, and it starts a very cute friendship. And it's just a really heartwarming story, a good cast of side characters, but they enhance the main 2 characters' relationship and friendship, and it doesn't get in the way. I like the art, surprisingly. It's simple, but it really works, and I also like the comedy and the mix of the comedy and the relationships and the friendships. So yeah, it's good. The scenarios are very interesting, and it's cool to see how her character herself, she's a very strong main character, and she has a lot of personality. So I highly recommend it if you're looking for a cute slice of life series. The 3rd volume actually comes out tomorrow, so I'll definitely be picking that up. Next up is My Love Mix-Up Volume 1, and it's basically about, this is a weird one, this is the same manga who did My Love Story, and basically it's about, she lets him borrow an eraser, and it has the name of a boy on it that she has a crush on. Well, he drops this eraser, behind this guy, and the name on the eraser is his name. And so he thinks that he has a crush on him. And so it's this misunderstanding hijinks boys love rom-com, and it's pretty good. The art's good, the characters are funny. It just seems like something I've read before, and at least in this first volume, it's presented very well. So we'll see how this continues to go. I will definitely keep picking it up. Hopefully it just doesn't become a monotonous rom-com. But if you're looking for something just really lighthearted and simple, nothing too crazy, then I highly recommend this one. Last up in this stack is Go With The Clouds, North by Northwest. This is by Ike Erie, and this is volumes 4 and 5, which puts me up to date with the series. And I'm so devastated that I'm up to date because now I gotta wait forever for the next volume. I really enjoy this series. I've talked about it in my last month's reading log and also in my manga haul for this month. This is a really cool, suspenseful mystery manga with some supernatural elements in it. There's a guy who can talk to cars and he solves mysteries, but he has a really dark past, a weird family issue with his brother right here, who's also a really good character, really deep, really creepy. So I highly, highly recommend this series if you're looking for something different. This is a very different series. The releases are by Vertical, and the releases are really beautiful as well. Really cool hand feel with the matte finish. So yeah, highly recommend this. It's really cool. So let's get into this middle stack here. This is all my favorite stuff for the month, starting off with Sweat and Soap Volume 11. And you can say, hey, that's a spoiler on the cover. But gosh darn it, this is a romance, and of course this is what's going to happen, so deal with it. This ending was fantastic. Great ending, great finish to the series. It's super, super satisfying. This series did have some problems in the middle, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, a little steamy. This series did have some problems in the middle with the way that some of the conflicts that arise and the way that the story was progressing. However, I have to say, as a whole series in general, it's just a really heartwarming, healthy relationship with a good mix of steamy, ecchi, and wholesome characters. Great cast of characters. I really do like all of them, except especially the cat. The cat's the best part of this story. Look how fat he is. He's like my cat. But yeah, so I highly recommend this series. There's a box set coming out from Kodansha, so that's a great time to pick this up. And who knows, maybe this will get an anime adaptation at some point. But that is to say, he is a fantastic male character. He has a very strong personality, and he's very wholesome towards her. Even though he comes off in the beginning, I think, at the beginning of this series, they're trying to really grasp onto something and get you hooked in. So I think that the beginning of this relationship was more of a grabber, and I don't think it's necessarily the appropriate rendition of how their relationship continues to progress, which I think is what turned a lot of people off to the series. But overall, 9 out of 10 for me. Fantastic series. It's not a masterpiece, but it's gosh darn great. Next up is the big boy, volumes 1 to 12 of To Your Eternity. This is the same mangaka who did Silent Voice, and this has been on my shelf for probably a year and a half, and I was like, you know what, I am going to read this series. I'm sick and tired of waiting, and I'm glad that I did. And here's why. I think that this is just an absolutely heartwarming tale of loss and self-discovery and friendship and just humanity and the different nature of life and what it means to be a wholesome person and live your life to the fullest. And also just the struggles of human nature and how everybody's life is just a little bit different and how crazy it can really be. It's a really good mix of supernatural slice of life, but also battles too. And there's a lot of really intense moments in this series. Like people have said also in the anime, I mean, it is just absolutely just devastating, some of these scenarios and what our main character Fushi learns as he encounters all of these people. And it's really, really, really cool to just see this progress. What I like about this series is that it goes really fast. So every 2 volumes or 3 volumes is a character and a story, and that continues throughout this. So these first 12 volumes encompasses the, I don't know what you would call it, the prehistoric section of the manga, and then from volume 13 on we get into the modern era. So it's a really interesting take, but yeah, I just think that this is a really great series. Only two pet peeves I have with this series are, number one, the artwork, especially at the beginning. I just think that's the lines and the way that it was drawn. It's too difficult to see some of the background stuff compared to, so like this, for example. You know, it's impossible to see the backgrounds because of the way that Fushi is drawn with the backgrounds. The lines are the same, so it's a little bit too difficult. Also, I think that some of the earlier characters or some of the earlier stories just don't get fleshed out enough, and there's more that I wanted, especially as we continue through the series. There was more extensive storylines going on. I just wanted a little bit more from the beginning, because I think the beginning characters are super strong, and I just think it wasn't fleshed out enough. But that being said, I really do love this manga. I highly recommend everybody check this out or watch the anime. You won't be disappointed. All right, last stack here. We have a new series, new harem series, We Never Learn, volumes 1 to 4. And I really enjoyed this series. You know, I had this on my shelf for a while. I was like, you know, I just want a new rom-com series, and I wasn't disappointed. I think when people were telling me, hey, this is, you know, if you read Quintessential Quintuplets, this is the next one that you need to read. I think the difference between this and Quintessential Quintuplets is that this manga does not take itself seriously at all. Very episodic chapters, playful nature between all of the girls and our main MC, who is the tutor. And basically it's about, for those of you who don't know, it's about this guy who's a tutor and these girls who need tutoring to get into their college or universities. And she's really good at STEM and she's really good at literature, but the issue is that they want to go into the subjects that they're bad at. So she wants to be a psychologist, even though she's really good at STEM. She wants to go into astrology, even though she's really good at literature. So he's having to tutor them at the subjects they're really bad at. And so that's basically the whole story. Yeah, this manga doesn't take itself seriously. It's really playful. It's really funny. A lot of ecchi gags and stuff like that. Lots of tropes in here. Sister complex, you know, coincidental situations. It's really cute. My favorite character is Ritsu. She's best girl for sure. You tell me down in the comments who your best girl is. The thing about Quintessential Quintuplets that's a little bit different is that it's a little bit more serious. There's longer plot lines going on. There's more mature development in the girls. This is just supposed to be super goofy and super silly. That's to say, I really do like it nonetheless. This is one of those turn your brain off mangas. You don't have to like really be paying attention. You can just read it, enjoy the gags, enjoy the laughs, and have a good time with it. So I will continue to pick these up, and I'm really enjoying the series. Next up is One Piece. This is the end of the Skypiea arc. So this is volumes 28 to 32. And, you know, what do I have to say about Skypiea? You know, obviously it's not nearly as good as the beginning of the series. It's probably the worst arc that I've read so far. But that is to say that I do like the world. The world is super creative. You've got these people in the sky, and you've got this treasure that they're trying to find, and it's really cool. I think the thing that really kind of made me not like this so much is that I couldn't really figure out why they went up there in the first place, because I think they knew that they weren't going to find the One Piece there. I think that was established. But so it kind of like bothered me. Why are they going up there in the first place? But this does bring in some development into the lore of the One Piece world. And so I really did enjoy it. I like the characters. Also, another thing I didn't like about this arc was the way that it kept bouncing around, because there's like many different battles going on. And it was way too fast paced. Like, you know, you'd have like 2 pages with one battle, and then you go into another 2 pages where there'd be another battle, and then another 2 pages would be another battle, and it was very difficult to keep up with. So that really kind of bothered me, and it made it kind of confusing. And so that is to say, I do look forward to reading some more One Piece. I just got One Piece box set 4. Obviously, I'm going to keep reading it. I'm going to enjoy Water 7. Hopefully, I can read it within the next 2 months, and we'll keep going with this series. All right, and we have Gto The Early Years. This is volumes 15, 16, and 17, 18 of Gto The Early Years. This is great. This actually dived into the best arc of the series so far for me. It was so good. It's called the Midnight Angels arc, and it's basically about Ryuji and Onizuka fighting their old biker gang, and it was really, really intense and really, really interesting. The artwork is just getting really good, and also the story writing is getting very clear and concise, and it's really not messy anymore. I think it's really taking an identity of its own, and I'm really going to be enjoying the second half of the series more compared to the first half. And last but not least, I did read The Ghost in the Shell. This is the hardcover edition that Kodansha put out. Yeah, I did not like this. I didn't like it at all. And here's the reason why. The artwork is fantastic. The printing is amazing. You know, you've got these amazing color pages and you're just like, holy moly, this is absolutely nuts. But my gosh, they have so much technical mumbo jumbo about all this science-y, like cyber stuff. And it is impossible to follow, like to the point where you're just reading text. Look at this crap. You know, you've got all this text and it's just like so science-y, and most of it has nothing to do with the story. And you just get so confused on what the actual story is that you just get disinterested so fast. And that's just my problem with this. And I heard that the anime actually gets rid of all this technical mumbo jumbo and just sticks with the storyline. So that was my issue. I would read through every chapter of this and I would go, what the heck did I just read? Like, why is this? I don't even understand what the story is, because I'm like trying to deal with cyber neutrons dissecting the cyber brains of the techno robots explosions. You know, it's just like, you're like, what in the hell is going on? So that is to say, Ghost in the Shell. Do I want to give it another chance? Yes, but in the anime form. I don't want to read this ever again. I'm going to sell it, just so if you're interested in it, let me know on Instagram. I'll sell it to you. But yeah, I don't want to read this anymore. And that is it for my manga reading log for the month of January. Read a lot of great stuff. I got a lot more time now that I'm back home, so I'm going to read a ton of new manga. Maybe at some point, I think I might do a full review of To Your Eternity, because I just finished up volume 15, so I'm now up to date with it. So, you know, let me know down in the comments if you'd like to hear a more extensive thought of, especially comparing the beginning of the series to what's going on now in the modern arc, because it's very different. So I might be doing a series review on that, and I might be doing some first impressions review on some of these other series that I started picking up. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, tap the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos come out, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.